I bought a quick hitch knowing that I was going to have to do a modification to it, but as it turns out, I ended up having to do a mod to the mod. It only took one time changing an implement to realize how much of a pain in the butt it was and that I wanted to get a quick hitch. I did a little research. I ultimately decided on the Harbor Freight quick hitch. I think it was only about $83 after coupon. However, I did know that it does come with an issue. And so when this goes into your top hook here, you know, you can't use your standard attachment point that you would for the top hook for a 3-point because this hook's not going to be able to come in and come up. So you're using this bottom one, and when that slides in, these bolts here interfere, and that plate here interferes with the attachment. This one, not so much, and there's still some interference there. This one definitely, however. On the rotary cutter, this plate extends further back from the pin that it does on the box blade, and so when this comes in, there's absolutely no way that's going to be able to come up and engage fully into the hook. I saw several different solutions for that clearance problem. I've seen some of the fixes were just to eliminate the nuts and bolts altogether and just weld this into place. I didn't want to do that. I figured if I did that at some point I'd need to remove it for whatever reason. Apparently there's some sort of a strap or like a adapter, which is kind of hokey. I didn't want to do that. And some of the other solutions were a little, I thought, overcomplicated, but this is what I opted for, which is a different hook. You can see that the clearance between the front face of the cutout and the bolt holes, you know, is greater than it is on the stock one here. So that eliminates the clearance issue, but there's a different issue now, and that's actually with both of these hooks. This radius here, you know, this cutout, this is not deep enough on either of these hooks, actually. So the issue now is that when picking up an implement, the top pin of the implement will bottom out in the hook here, but it won't fully seat in the bottoms. Essentially, you end up with all of the weight of the implement kind of just balancing on this top hook. You know, the distance between the top and the bottom is just a little bit too great. And I got this hook, it's adjusted all the way down. I can't go down any further with it. And that's with using, you know, the bushings on the implement as well. And so, now the implement can rock left to right, and also it won't actually fully lock into the bottoms as well. You know, to fix that, I had a friend of mine does machining work. He took about 1/8 of an inch out of here. And you can see on the original, this is the original hook, I put some silver paint on there so you can see, if I line these up, you know, where you can see that silver, that's the original one that was untouched. That's how much material had to be removed so that now the implements fully seat top and bottom as opposed to just hanging on the top pin. Another thing to note is the adapter bushings. This is a Cat 1 to Cat 3 adapter. As you can see, that's a pretty good fit in there. And I've seen several instances of people putting on a Cat 1 to Cat 2 adapter, and it'll work, but it's going to be sloppy in there as well. But I've seen them advertised at plenty of places. You know, Cat 1 to Cat 2 adapter specifically for quick hitches, and maybe there are some quick hitches that are a Cat 2, but this one is definitely a Category 3. Here's the Cat 3 adapters on the rotary cutter. Of course, these are the open-ended type. For the box blade, obviously this doesn't use the bushings like on the rotary cutter. This is a captured end style, and I couldn't find, at least for the bottom pins, I couldn't find a Cat 1 to Cat 3 bushing or adapter. All I could find was a 1 to 2 and then a 2 to 3, so I ended up having to put those together to get that to a category 3. Another observation I had while doing my quick hitch research is that I don't think people realize that these retainers here are spring-loaded. It's a pretty strong spring, but it's spring-loaded, and so I had seen several demonstrations or whatever, and they would open these up on both sides, back up, pick up their implement, and then either get off the tractor and flip them back down, or do it from the tractor seat if they can reach it. And not really necessary. Just leave them like this, go pick up your implement, that'll move out of the way, and it'll lock in all on its own. Of course, I'm hooking up something with a PTO on it. You're going to have to get off the tractor anyway to hook that up, because as far as I know, there's no quick attach PTO yet. Now, if I'm doing a pick in place, which I do regularly because I keep my implements inside, and so I'll have to move them out of the way for one reason or another, then yeah, I'll open these up, but I'll leave them open. I'll pick it up, I'll move it out, drop it somewhere, it'll disengage by itself. I don't have to move the handles, come back in, get the other one and move that out. So I came into this project intending to just have to do the one modification, which is get a different top hook. As it turns out, I had to do a modification to the modification, which is fine, even though with that extra time, it's still nothing compared to how much time this is saving me now.